Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be doing a digital fashion illustration of a lace dress. I am using the Procreate app on the Apple iPad. This is the 12.9 Pro. I'll walk you through my process and I hope you can learn a few things. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've already started by uploading my croquis. And to make things easy, I am simply just going to use this template and adjust the design as needed. I will change it from a scoop neck to a sweetheart neck. I think that's what I'll do. So I have my line art here. Do I need this? Let me leave that. I need it later on. I have my line art here. I am going to duplicate this layer just in case I change my mind. I'll turn this off, leave this back on, change my color to black. Okay, yeah. So let's see. Let me erase these lines. The cool thing about drawing digital is that you can zoom in as much as you want, which works really well for me because of my eyesight. So okay, for a sweetheart's neck, let me do this. So this. Oops, I'm in the middle. Okay, so what else do I want to do with the design? I am going to have what do I do? Okay, oopsie. So what did I do there? Okay, maybe do this. Draw a line, hold, so that it forms a nice, beautiful curve. Okay. I don't want to select that. I am going to duplicate this again, just for keepsakes. Turn that off. Now I'll use this as my main design layer. So let me just rename this to design. Okay, next step in the process, I will duplicate this again. I will bring this underneath here. This is a layer. I will bring this underneath here and I will call this, I'll rename this dress. Okay, so let me pick a dress color. I will go with something peachy pink. And then I will just color fill the dress layer. If you're using a different app, you can use the buckets tool, whether it's Photoshop or any other drawing app, to fill in the dress layer. Okay, so for this other part, the top part, I would use the same color because I want it to be like a transparent, maybe mesh organza or something that's on top here. So I would reduce the opacity so you can see the skin showing through. Okay, so next up is to create a new layer on top of the dress layer and apply a clipping mask. So that way, whatever I draw would stay within the confines of this dress layer. So let's see, let's do just a random lace pattern, just something really random. So I'm going to use a darker shade of this peach, and then let's see, just apply some random, very random lines. This is just random abstract lace pattern, maybe a geometric lace pattern. I love lines a lot. Okay. Let's see. Every time I tap once on Procreate, at least it activates the undo button. Okay, let me just leave it as is. Now this is a little bit transparent. Let's see. Okay, so this is a little bit transparent, so I am going to duplicate this layer twice. 1, 2, to make these lines more opaque, because I'm still going to add some details on top of the lines, like some sparkles. So I'll group this together to form one layer. Okay, so I will still add another layer of circles just for that extra design detail. Random circles. Let's see. Random splashes of circles. Okay. Okay. It's looking good so far. 1 second. Just trying to make sure this is filming properly. Let me see. Increase the brightness. Let's see. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, now to give these lines like a 3D effect, I am going to duplicate the layer again, and I am going to set the layer between beneath. I'm going to set one of the layers, the one underneath, to multiply. Let me see if it will do what I want it to do. Okay, so see what is happening. Here it's normal, it's okay. As we keep going through the layer modes, the color changes. Do I do multiply? Do I do linear burn? Ouch. Let's see linear burn. Okay. Then I'll go back to this first one. This is the transform tool, like the move tool, and then I will move this ever so slightly. I'm trying to create something like a shadow effect, 3D shadow effect. Okay, is this sufficient? I'll try it again. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going back to this layer underneath, and then I will go to my tools. Let's go to, what is it, Gaussian blur, and let's see. Oops, not so much. 2% is fine. Okay. All right, and then I would reduce the opacity of this a little bit. See, it almost disappears here. Let's see. This is giving the raised effect. So let's see if I duplicate this layer on top again. What do I get? Okay, let me undo. Let's make this a little bit more opaque. Let me see. Okay, well, so far so good. Let's leave it at, let's leave the blending mode at linear burn. Okay. Okay. Now let's add some shine on this. Okay, so now this layer on top, remember this layer, these are these lines. So for this layer, the cool thing about digital illustrations is that you can keep duplicating layers. So if you make a mistake, you can go back and adjust things, you know, like you don't have to completely destroy what you have worked on. So I am going to keep this layer and I'm going to duplicate it again. I'm going to turn it off. So at least I have this if I need to redo this or rework it in some way. So I'll just turn it off, leave it there. And then on this one, I am going to activate alpha lock. Now, alpha lock will make sure that whatever I draw on top will be only on the contents of that layer. Kind of similar to a clipping mask. But if I were to use a clipping mask here, everything I do would affect the entire layer of the dress. But now everything I do is going to affect only this layer, not the entire layer of the dress. Okay. Okay, so now let me see. What color do I use? Let's just play around. What will happen if I use this pink? And I want something sparkly. This luminance brush set comes automatically with the Procreate app. So let's see. So you see what's happening. It's adding my sparkles to only this brush layer. Like even if I do this, nothing happens. Only to this part of the dress. Hope I'm making sense. So I can add as much or as little sparkle as I want. Okay. Okay. Now we can increase the intensity. Okay, no, I won't do it that way. Okay. I can just use maybe there's many ways to get things done here on Procreate, but you know, let me not get ahead of myself. I want to increase the intensity of the sparkles, of the shine in some areas. Make this outfit really shiny. Okay, so we can do the same thing for the circles. Here are the circles, this one. So I would just duplicate it again. And then I could turn this off. Work with this one and apply layer marks. apply alpha lock on it and do the same sparkly thing. Let me see. Is this working? It doesn't seem to be doing what I want. It's not giving the exact effect I want, so I will do something else. Is my undo button working? Where are we? Oh. Oh well, let's just keep it moving. I just want more sparkles on this. So let me see. Okay. So like random shapes, yeah. I'm just having fun with this, just, you know, just playing around, creating a random, very abstract lace pattern for this beautiful dress. I love the color. It's really pretty. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I could even play with let's see. If I change the, what's this called again, the blending mode, if I change this to add, it's very bright, lighter color. Just does different things. Let me see, what is this? What's vivid light it's giving me? This is linear light. Let's leave this like so and see. Okay. So the next thing would be to add shadows to give the dress some form and dimension so it doesn't look so flat. I would still add like pearls or something to this area here. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to add some pearls to this neckline area, but if I were to do the same clipping marks thing I did for the dress, the pearls I add on top of it are going to be transparent because I have reduced the opacity of this layer. So whatever clipping marks layer I add on this would have it will take on the same opacity level as the main layer. So I'm going to do this differently. I will add a new layer. I will go back to this one and click select. So this layer is selected. Then I will go back to this new layer where I want to put the pearls on, and I add my pearls there. That way I can I can work with this layer by itself without having to deal with the opacity of, without having the opacity of the layer beneath it affect it. Hope I'm making sense. Okay, so let's go to brushes. I have a pearl brush. I have some pearl brushes from a couture brush sets I bought on Etsy. So I'll use this one, and then just randomly, let me see. I'll just be random. Since the sizing on the brush is also pretty random. I think the harder you press, the bigger the brush. It's a nice, cute pattern. Let's see. Let's try and make this. Let's make this bigger. Okay. add some more here. Yeah, you get the gist. Okay, so okay, I can turn off the selection or instead of turning it off, so that I am still working within the boundaries of this layer and I don't have to start erasing stuff. I will duplicate this, and to create that same 3D effect thing, I would make this make this darker. So I would do alpha lock, and what color is this? Okay, maybe let me use this. Change my brush. Like you can't see it now, but if I turn this layer off, you would see. Let's see, it's darker. Okay, now I will move this. Just a little bit. Okay, and then okay. Let's see. All right. I want to apply my Gaussian blur. Okay. So same 2%. Okay. So let me see if I change multiply. Yes, makes it darker. Okay. And if I just want to be extra, because it's pearls, so I'll turn on alpha lock again for this layer on top, and then just like add a little more white spots on the pearls. Just, it's not necessary. It's not like do or die. But yeah, just to give it that pearly effect, I'll use a soft airbrush. I guess with the digital illustrations, it really just depends on you, the level of rendering you want to give, you know, to your illustrations. Like, it doesn't always have to be perfectly rendered. It doesn't need to look lifelike, you know, so long as you are able to communicate the design and the idea that you're trying to you know, create to your clients. As long as someone else looking at the design is able to understand and see the vision and say, okay, yes, this is the dress that I want to make, or your tailor is able to see it and understand and say, okay, yes, I know how to sew this dress, I know how to go about sewing this dress, then you've achieved your goal. Yeah. Okay, so once again, let me ensure that I am filming properly, and I am, thank God. Okay, I'm serious. Yes, where are we now? Okay, so let's add some shadows to the dress so it gives it some form, and then I will turn on the skin layer, the hair layer, and see if the dress is done, or maybe add another applique on top of it and see how it goes. Okay, so to do this, I am going to add a layer directly on top of the dress, underneath all of the stonework, you know, that forms the lace pattern. I usually use the same, just to make things easier, I usually use a soft airbrush for my shadow layer. I use the same color of the base layer, and I just set the new shadow layer to multiply, just to make things easier when I'm creating shadows. So the color pick for the way you color pick in Procreate is to just press and hold. Will my nails allow me? There we go. Okay, set to multiply. It will make it darker. It will make the color you've chosen darker. Yep, soft airbrush. And then I do things very simply, so just a slight curve under the bust. Let's see. Oops. Ding-diddy. And along the sides of the dress. I'm not really following all the form rules and, you know, shadow rules. Okay, let me do it this way. Let me erase the shadows on this side and assume the light is coming from this direction, you know, and her legs are probably crossed over at the knees here, so the shadows should be on this side, more of it on this side. Hope this is giving the form I'm trying to create. Okay. Then I can even pick a darker color just to intensify some areas some more. Just random shadow spots. Okay, so let's turn on the skin layer and see what it's looking like so far. I already had this pre-done. Missing somewhere. Okay. Go back to skin. With the basic brush. So I need to fill in the spots here. Okay. Now we are seeing the effects of this transparent layer over the skin. Okay, so I need to add more shadows. Here are my shadow colors for the skin. That's my skin palette. Is this the one? Let's see. Just so I do not make any mistakes, I'll add a new layer. Don't mind me, this is just my personal workflow when it comes to creating fashion illustrations. I have some things already pre-done, so I won't have to spend so much time looking at the screen and doing everything from scratch. And by the way, just as you change brushes just as you change your drawing brushes, you can also change your eraser brushes. So I'm just going to, okay, this is the part I'm doing here. I'm going to erase this a little bit. Okay. And just to give that bust definition. Here. Oh. Did I get that right? Should I erase it? Or adjust it? Hope you guys can hear me. Hey, okay. Oopsie. Just realizing. I'm just realizing this is on. I hope the sound is not affecting. Okay. Just drawing. Just drawing the collarbone. Or signifying the presence of the collarbone here. Okay. Okay. All right. She has an intense stare. Okay. So I can still go ahead and add like a highlights layer on top of the dress. Since I've added the shadow area, I can still add a highlights area. And here we go. There's something. Let me increase the brush size. I'm just being very random, honestly. I'm just being very random. I figure anybody looking at this can understand what this style is and can explain it to their tailor, or can see if it is something they would like to, you know, use for their outfits. Okay, so let me turn off this, what is this? Let me turn off the hair layer. Now, you can also change the color of these lines on the neck and on the armhole, you know, to make it more like the skin color or the same color as the net here. So I would just color pick that, and then I would go to this layer design. Because this is on top of every other layer, whatever color changes I make here would be the one that you see. If I were to go to adjust this here, if I were to adjust the color of this layer from this point, this design layer, because it's on top of it, it would, what's the word? Because it's on top of it, it would overrule whatever I do here. So I will click on alpha lock. So that's all that I am affecting is just this line layer. And I would switch to this and make sure that I am only, you see, affecting this one. Now you can still see a little bit of the black underneath, and that is because of the other layers. That is because I duplicated this layer multiple times, so you're basically kind of seeing the black from the other layers underneath. But I'll still leave it, I'll leave it just as it is. If you want to go and be extra detailed, you can go down to the other layers and make corrections and erase things. For example, now I could go to, I know, okay, this design was duplicated here. So I could go to dress and erase this part. Oops. Oh, my eraser. Nope, 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 nope. So let's go back to this and see. Yeah. Where else do we have? Okay, we have it here again. So here I need to apply, oops, alpha lock. Oops. It's not giving me the same color. Anyways, because if I'm going to affect this layer here, it would be best for me to turn these ones off so that I can see exactly what I'm working on. I'll raise the opacity of this. Okay, let me just do it just to show you what I mean. Turn this off, turn this off, turn this off. This, we have 42% now. Take it back to 100. Okay. Color pink. As you can see, it's getting rid of the extra black lines. Yep, so you take this back to 42%. Okay, turn everything back on again. Where do we still have the black lines affecting us? It's from this dress layer. So you see, if we turn off this dress layer, those black lines are gone. So I can go back to this dress layer and delete these lines here since we don't need it from the dress layer. Okay. Honestly, with digital illustrations, it's all about you finding your workflow. Once you understand how the tools work, once you understand and you're very familiar with, you make yourself familiar with the layout of the app that you're using, where each tool is, then you can begin to create your own personal workflow that works for you. So, okay, here we go. So this is the finished design. This is just a random ground layer, just to kind of ground the model. So just use any, let me see, any random brush to create texture on the ground. Okay, so yes, this is it, guys. It's a starting point. This is a simple basic design, and then from here you can add things, keep adding, add extra details in many places. I'll probably do another video on maybe adding an applique on this area here, maybe like a cape or organza overcoat overlay, something over it. You know, there are so many ways, so many things that could be done at this point. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two about creating a digital fashion illustration with Procreate. Thank you so much. Do like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.